cooling down. I'm making a little redneck high tea, scalding hot tea with Mountain Dew in it. It's just awesome. I hope that cools it off. I got an aspirin in my mouth. A lot of people have been, that's too close for comfort there, huh? A lot of people have been checking out my music site, and it'll probably get too hot in here. No fresh emails for the minute here. I've been working and mixing stuff. I did a bunch of Led Zeppelin songs. I couldn't tell you all of them right now. I get into these things where I just lose track of the day. I don't even know what day it is, to tell you the truth. I can lean there and that'll hold that little camera up for me. I can't hardly hold that up with my left anymore. Let's see. Oh yeah, let me see that. A lot of strange, cool. It's a neat thing. I just have to remind myself. I try not to get involved with the people on here on YouTube because there's a lot to come and go, and I never know. Just as I get to sort of, it's like real life. Just as you get to like really love and trust somebody, they fuck you over. It's a given. No, but you never know. I mean, people come and go with sort of every time I start thinking, oh, well, I'm going to be friends with this person like several times this time around, then I never see them again, And even the people I kind of am friends with, I'm glad they stopped by, really enjoy it, But everybody's busy and on their own trip. I mean, yeah, I got in, I did several Led Zeppelin songs. Most of them tracked themselves, I programmed the drums and did some sampling and from the originals here and there to just trip them out and fatten them up. And the last one, I definitely remember it. I was doing when the levee breaks. There's a certain sound. I duplicated the harmonica with guitar, slide guitar, a MIDI guitar, and something else. I got insane, but there's a certain tone, as far as somebody watching my vlog, I just mentioned a while back, as a lifelong professional engineer and producer, the thing that really has become clear to me now all the more is that things have to be listenable. That means each instrument when you sweep along. So, I lost track of that, but you're always learning stuff. I mean, the frequencies. I also mentioned that the emotion is kind of in the low mids, really the low mids, above the lows and below the sort of very present mid-range, like around 800 hertz and below, really 600 and below, between 2 and 6. There's a harmonica. Yeah, there's a harmonica sound on when the levee breaks, and it's my sort of theory that sounds that make me feel a certain way make pretty much, for plus or minus a little bit, but a lot, sounds that make us feel a certain way also, they sort of make us all feel a certain way. And when the levee breaks, that harmonica sound, there's a low mid on that has always just pierced me to my soul. And so I spent I couldn't tell you how many hours duplicating that. And I actually played harmonica on it too. I forgot. I have a set of harps that I hadn't done it in years, but that's an easy one. But yeah, that it's I know everything affects different people in different ways, but I think plus or minus, not all that much, as far as the way music, I don't even see music as there's just different styles. I love music, and I really like almost all styles. You know, good music is good music. So, oh yeah, that was really sad. I may go outside in a minute. It's getting hot. This may, by the way, this may go 10 minutes. It might go an hour. I don't know. If you're looking for any quick entertainment, I know a lot of music people have been stopping by here and have questions about how I mix and engineer and produce stuff. And I'm doing like all guitar stuff for a while. I'd sort of lost track of the fact that I'm actually a guitar player and a composer. And I love working. I usually work with orchestral. On every song I'll try it. Orchestral, jazz, sort of a hardcore rap style with guitars, and then a heavy kind of guitar pop sound, and then a heavy metal, and then a thrash metal sound. Usually I can go with the thrash metal and the classical and immediately know something in between that's cool. But yeah, you know, I was going to say it was a sad thing that this morning somebody posted, and I'm getting to the point where it's like, you know, I really don't care either way. I mean, yeah, I kind of do, but I mean, it doesn't have that much of a... I'm a guy running a small site on a big internet, you know, making music and for people to enjoy. But a hater came by. I thought it was really sad, man. A hater came by this morning and posted. I found out. And listen to this. I mean, it was just, you know, one of those deals, and she came by, and I won't show her or anything, but it's already getting kind of warm in here, stifling me up. But she came by and posted, basically, they all post the same thing, you know. It all comes down to, you know, fuck you in the end, pretty much, you know. Some of them are more creative, but I could give two shits. A lot of it's like 10-year-old boys with their mom left in their, you know, at the computer for a while or something. And or really, you know, I did a analysis on it, and I already knew this. Everybody does. It's about 16 to 27-year-old males, and generally somewhere between 18 and 22 that cause you the most grief on the internet. Most people are incredible. I can't believe it's coming up on 3,000 subscribers, you know. Every few minutes I get like bing, 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 3 or 4 people are subscribing, you know. But I'm also doing better produced guitar-based stuff, and people really love that. But anyway, with kind of a mosh pit style guitar shadow in the vocal to give it a certain kind of silly intensity. Excellent. I was talking about the sublime and the ridiculous. I mean, you can get so heavy and so intense that it's silly, but if you push ridiculous one step further, it gets sublime, you know, sometimes. And anyway, so yeah, I push it to where it's as heavy as I can get it on the guitars. But this woman came by. She posted something really shitty on one of my songs. A lot of friends have been nice people, you know, not friends, but I mean cool people, all positive for like a week now. 10 days, no haters. But she came by and posted, and here's the thing. It was on She Blinded Me with Science, and she posted like, you suck balls or something like that, or you lick balls, or I don't know, fuck, you know. And I was like, well, you motherfucker. I was like, investigate. At first it's like, you asshole, you know. Here's another one. Hardcore Edge Gamer or something. I can't read it from here. Subscribe to you. A lot of hardcore guitar players. I'm going to do a bunch of cool guitar stuff. But anyway, I've done like half the Led Zeppelin catalog in the last couple of days. Heavier. Trying to make epic shit epic. When the Levy Break is so epic, I had to watch it because that frequency, the harmonica, the way it does, comes in and goes through, and I really pushed it and compressed it and limited it and doubled it and delayed it and slammed it into the mix. And I've got it right now, but, you know, it was making me feel this epic feeling of, like, you know, the whole I was taking the whole epic tragedy of life angle for a few minutes there. It just seems so epic. It is. The song is. And anyway, she came by, and I bet this is dark. I'll probably go outside. Let me see. It'll be pretty dark. That's okay. But she came by and posted, like I said, fuck you, whatever. And then I went to her site, and she, the first video I watched was, she was ill, seriously ill. And the first video I watched, she was talking about she's on all kinds of meds too. And I have a lot of empathy for her. I felt bad. I wanted to do something for her, actually. I wanted to do something for a fucking hater, But maybe I will. She, because there's a bigger picture than little files on the internet, And she had a thyroid problem, and I have a really fierce disease myself that, forces me to sort of live alone. I never talk to anybody, never go anywhere, never really leave this room even much. I'll probably go outside in a minute here, but that allows me to focus, on stuff. And but she had a thyroid problem and another problem. Anyway, her neck was all like swollen out and messed up, and it had been going on a long time. And she'd gotten on all kinds of meds. In this vlog, she just went on. I like them actually. Get to know me. You really get to know a person, and get to know me. I love that guy, the John Lovitz character. Get to know me. Anyway, oh man, a huge bug just crawled by back there, I think. My eyes have spots that go in front of them, and these glasses are getting real. Look at that. These glasses there's some kind of permanent, like, marring on that side, and these are the only ones I got or will be able to afford anytime soon, or even if I could get anywhere. I'm good. But, so, yeah, she posted that obviously she was on many medications. I could see pill bottles everywhere. Yeah, that was a bug. She had been captured by the cops, and we called it 5150. We call it 5150 in Los Angeles. That's where Van Halen got the name of that album. Thrown in a psych ward for a few days, and she was talking about that, and then I went back and saw her neck all jacked up. Anyway, it was real sad, and she was so fucked up on, all kinds of meds, and I've been there, I know, man. So, I look at some of the videos with me in them, and I can't believe how screwed up I was. I was so out of touch with reality, No different than now, But, it was really one of those deals where, how can you look on something like that and not, feel changed somehow? And, I've seen it before, but it just kind of let me know, that some of these people are pretty twisted on there. Overwhelmingly really cool, good people. Let's see, what else? Yeah, the official lull in the vlog. Oh yeah, a couple more, like, from major record label people have liked and favorited a couple things I did. I went to their site, and it's like the official blah 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 site, record site or whatever. But I used to work in that industry, so nothing enthuses me except, send me a check, and then that's when things are more serious. That's when we'll talk. Oh, man. But I think I'll go outside. Yeah, it's really great to have people, I talked about frame of reference in another vlog, and it's really great to have people stopping by because, I have no human frame of reference here. I stay away from the neighbors because they're like motorcycle and meth heads, and I was never a meth head, but was a motorcycler and a partier. And somebody, another one. But And anyway, when you're good at stuff, I know they'd want me to fix all kinds of stuff or jam on with them or something. I just, I haven't got, so I don't know anybody, and I'm not well enough to really get out. So, I see my mom drops by here like once a month, if I'm lucky, to take me to get groceries. Oh, I've been completely out of food for this is the 9th day, and popcorn, and I think, well, I don't even know a day or whatever it is. One of the reasons I really I wanted to keep, I went back through some of my old vlogs. I can see how vast of a change has come over, has happened because of this to me. And it was neat too. A couple people that I've met and now know, on the internet pretty well, and they stop by and exchange. You get a feel for people. I saw, I made vlogs of the first, and screen captures of the first time I'd ever had any exchanges with them, and they're posted. But for some reason I watched one of those last night, and it was kind of neat. So that'll pay off. And then yet another one. Yeah, so I don't have any human interaction, and it's easy to sort of get out of focus and out of balance. It's also fucking awesome. Oh, man. I was trying to think of, I thought of some movies I wanted to recommend to people, but earlier, and sometimes I draw a blank. Sometimes these things are actually useful. I'll probably step outside here. I need to throw the trash out. I just throw it towards the damn door. I don't let anything get in the way when I'm working, so a lot of times I just throw it towards the door and then kick it out and then pick it up when I come out, Oh boy. So, most people are probably tuned out by now, but, it's nice to be outside. I hadn't been out here in a few days. I really don't know what day it is. By the way, if you keep a vlog or shoot videos and stuff, if you notice on TV, most people are shot ever so slightly from above, or at least eye level, because I see a lot of videos on YouTube. Nobody wants to look up your snout while you're singing, or even at a low angle, unless you're just an awesome, striking individual. Then you look good at all angles. But oh man, I need to get a better tripod for this camera. So yeah, anyway, there's one girl that watches my vlog and really seems to count on them, and she's got a lot of the problems that I've had over time, and I know she has an eating disorder, and believe it or not, I went through that too. And it's kind of weird because I'd married a Russian girl and just divorced her, and I can't remember the circumstances, but I decided to shut my studio down. I didn't realize I went into a deep depression. I shut my recording studio down, moved into a small apartment, made like a mini studio in there, and then I really became sort of agoraphobic, much like now, except I'm more aware of it now. Agoraphobia is another thing I had. It just didn't seem, and these things sneak up on you, it just, for the longest time, it just didn't seem like a good idea to go outside today. And in LA, it's always kind of dangerous, and, but so that snuck up on me, and I was also just starting to do prescription, was put on prescription drugs at that time, and was addicted to benzodiazepines and opiates, morphine, Klonopin, Valium, Xanax, the two basic groups of really strong addiction in America are benzos and opiates, and I was on all of them, like literally 14 pills, different prescriptions. But so, I'm clean and sober now, and it's really great to be that way. I mean, I can't believe I was able to even function, much less now. I couldn't believe I could ever do a mixed stone. You just can't. If you can make it interesting for sober people, they don't have to be stoned to listen to it. It's probably much better. But yeah, also though, what happened was I didn't go out and get food, and I got on. You get kind of high when you don't eat, and I went like I think it was 180 days without eating much at all. Dropped a tremendous amount of weight. I had to be carried out of there to a hospital, basically. But, you start getting high, and I thought, well, I wonder how high you can get on this, on top of taking all the pills. I was like, man, I get higher if I don't spoil it with food, True, typical junkie shit, And, anyway, there was that, and then I later realized I was in a deep depression, chemical depression. Not because I was particularly sad about that girl, kind of, but not really. That third wife or fifth wife, I don't remember. There's been 5, I think. But yeah, this girl watches quite a bit. There were a couple of guys too over at my studio way before this, and thrash metal guys. I remember them for some reason. This is my hood right now, and I live here and do all my music and videos here. I've got tons of studio gear and stuff in there, but what was the tie-in with Andy and those guys? They had a band, and they were like, one of the cliches in Los Angeles is, we're huge and, whatever, overseas, yeah, we're big in, Paraguay or whatever. And, man smoking, ECU, extreme close-up. And, anyway, what was the tie-in? Because they're funny guys. The name of the band is Dying Breed. They're like a thrash metal band, And they're huge in Paraguay. Man, I had a great tie-in there. It's a funny story, kind of, to me anyway. The whole eating disorder thing got me on that track. It's funny, trust me. It's a funny story. But yeah, I mean, Sunset. It's one of those things, I get obsessed with stuff all the time, but anyway, with the eating disorder and stuff, I really get that. I know I've had a bunch of problems in my life, pretty good. I was perfectly healthy till about maybe, 33, 35, and real strong. I managed to have this disorder I have now and continue working until about, say, 3-4 years ago. And most people kill themselves in the first 5 years, so 97% kill themselves that have trigeminal neuralgia in the first 5 years. So, that's how I ended up living like this. And I keep a vlog to sort of just document what's going on, but yeah, that's just so funny. Dying Breed. I really wish I could remember that story. It tied in somehow, but I can't remember now. But I guess the other thing I wanted to talk about, or people ask me a lot about, was, I touched on a little bit. Where am I at time-wise? Oh, 24? Good. And that is, mixing, and as far as, there's three basic tools, really, with audio, or the universe. Everything has a frequency, everything has an amplitude, and everything has a waveform. Even solid objects, remember, energy and matter are interchangeable forms of the same thing, really. So anyway, in EQ, we'll talk a little bit about EQ and leave compression out of it for now, but and limiting. But one of the things that I like to do is listen to an entire, I do on all my tracks, listen to the track all the way through. Make sure on the high end that it's not brittle and tinny. You want beautiful high end, but you don't want piercing, hard to listen to high end. And then make sure the mid-range is present but doesn't bite you. And there's 1 dB difference between biting you on pushing it too hard on the mid-range, like 1K to 8K, true mid-range. There's 1 dB difference between biting you and then cutting too much and losing all of your sort of presence and clarity, I mean, it's small moves for now, tiny moves. And every time I'm mixing, I think about years of mistake. Oh yeah, in 1985 I made a mistake with cymbals and ruined that entire album of my own, stuff like that, just experience. But I try not to EQ anything. I would like to leave everything flat, and if I do, it's slight, just to make it clear. So on the top end, I take out all the kind of scissory stuff that's too scissory. You want it there, but not scissoring you. The mid-range, make sure that's where it's listenable comes into mind, or into play, because your ears are much more sensitive between really 1K and 4K in that area. Like in a mix, if you can't hear something, rather than turn it up, I like to sweep around and find in the EQ where it makes it more punch through the mix, usually in between 1 and 6K, usually 2 on especially guitars, around 2K, but and also cut, boost, and sweep, and find that. But the same thing. Let's say you're mixing guitars and you put 2 dB of 2K on them. Well, now you can turn and gain more headroom in your mix. Turn the whole fader down, and so the highs, no sizzly, like distorty crap. Nothing should be distorted unless you want it that way. I like some stuff distorted. We call it leaving fur on a vocal, or fur on anything, where it's sort of kind of a little bit kind of analog distorty, but it sounds good, leaving fur on it, a little fur on the edges. I did a song by Journey the other day, and on one word it had some fur on it. I was going to take it off. I said, you know what, that's kind of cool, actually. It distorts, it makes it sound very analog. So no scissory, no piercing, sizzly highs that are too sizzly. No mid-range that bites, but don't take the bite out so much that you lose the beauty. That's where the beauty happens of a mix, the clarity. And then the low end, no rattly, boomy shit. And there's a boxy sound around 400 hertz, and that's the hardest one. It's beautiful, but it's hard to work with, And there's a little gal over there. I don't even know who lives there. But yeah, solo everything and listen to it and just make sure it's clear and it's not distorting, it's not woofing out on the low end. And then the lows, a lot of people have asked me about this. I was going to talk about it a little bit. Where am I at time-wise? Okay, this will go like 31 minutes. But time-wise, what I like to do with lows, now that they have a thing called frequency-dependent compression. And so what I can do is a mix is, and nothing will eat up your mix more than like bass guitar or low-end kick drum, because every sound has resultant frequencies that go, 100 hertz at 2 and 4 and 8 and so on. So if you turn your bass down, you're actually freeing up your whole mix to sound cleaner and clearer. But now you can do a thing called frequency dependent compression. It's in almost every sequencing package. I use Logic. And that is, take the entire mix. I'm mainly a mastering engineer, so that's why some of my stuff sounds real good if I bother to master it, which like the first 10 or 15 I did not. Lately I have been. But take the entire low end and select it, and the limiter, I use the wave stuff, although the built-in ones are great. I've been using them lately too, in Logic especially. And compress, tuck down just the low end, and suddenly the whole mix opens up. But you should really, unless you're super good or experienced, master in a different environment. But then you record record it in one environment, mix it in another, master it in another, for optimum results. But yeah, some people had asked me tech stuff, and overall I could say, and I'll say it again, is stuff has got to be listenable. And the best thing that I do, probably the most important thing, is after I do something, I'll work on something for 16 hours straight, and then do like 8 or 10, as many mixes as possible, then put it away. I listening back at another time when I'm sort of just wandering around. Oh, the other tip is, a lot of people don't know this, and there we're at 31, I'll go 33. A lot of people don't know this, but sound has a physical length. It has a physical size. Sound does. My voice is centered around, let's say the male voice is centered around 800 hertz, 800 cycles per second. So let's say that my voice, let's say it's at 1K, 1,000 cycles per second to make it easier. It is 1.3 feet long, right? My voice is actually physically 1.3 feet long. Well, you drop that down 10 times to 100 hertz, like a bass guitar, that signal is 11.3 feet long. As long as this RV is like 21 feet, it's half as long as this RV. So anyway, a good thing to do is walk away from your speakers and your mix, because you can't get in front of that 100 hertz tone and experience it as it fully develops in an environment until you're at least 11.3 feet away. So, oh, there's Jewel. She'd be a gem to get on. Hi, Jewel.
What are you doing there?
No. How are you? Let me take another. What are you up to?
Oh, I was just riding around.
Let me get you.
You don't feel bad when I send that stuff over here.
Oh, no. I could use whatever you got. How are you?
Oh, God. Well, I could have sent today.
That's me and Jewel.
Huh?
Okay, I'm taking a picture of us.
Oh,
I'm taking a picture of us, Jewel. I love you, Jewel Alice.
Jewel Alice.
How are you, Jewel Alice?
You're the only one that ever called me Jewel Alice.
Didn't your dad or something?
Nope.
No, never did?
You're the only one.
I like it. It's a cool name.
Jewel Alice.
Yeah, I
Oh,
see.
hon. All right, I'll have you something.
Oh, no, that's all right. I don't need anything, especially Jewel. I'm always surprised Mom shows up and says, Jewel gave you some Cokes. I'm like,
I
well,
have some,
I'm good, Mom.
I'll get
I don't need anything. No, Jewel, I don't need anything ever. I'm pretty good. You don't have
You're
to.
pretty good.
Yeah, I'm pretty damn good. You don't have to give me anything though.
How do you feel?
Pretty good, getting by. But you don't have to give me anything. I didn't, that's cool.
I know it, but
You're
I mean,
charitable. You're a good soul.
But whenever, every day that I'm not using it, I'll certainly bring it here to you. Is that all right?
Whatever. I'll
All
take
right.
whatever you got. That's my pledge to you. I'll take whatever
Okay,
you got.
hon.
See you later.
All right.
She's awesome. Jewel Alice. This is like a retirement community, Hey, lady, uh-oh. Jewel's about ready to get hit. Jewel will go out there in the dang road Look at that. See, she's deaf too. Jewel will go on the highway on that damn thing, man. Not even looking. Yeah, and there's something about like old people on camera that looks great on tape. She's an awesome person. My mom and her husband, they fight like cats and dogs. I just laugh at it all. I'm like, Mom, she's like 100 or something, you know, give her a break. Oh, they fight so much, it's funny. I used to do security at an old folks home, so I've broken up some old people fights. I had to arrest a couple, actually. I mean, they was, you know, it got nasty, more nastier than you might imagine, you know, but I was trying not to, you know, hawk. I tried not to do anything like that, but, you know, when they start stabbing and trying to shoot each other, you know, I had to jump in and take a gun from one, like, 80-year-old guy. They, you know, at first I was like, oh, it's old people, they won't, you know, and then I was like, I bought a bulletproof vest to wear at that post, you know, when I was a kid. But, yeah, it's all good. Let's see. Oh, I get it. My friend used to do a character called the supportive parent. It's not really an ending. I was going to do supportive parent ending, but it's not even an ending. I'm going to end. It goes like the supportive parent. It goes like, let's see, how's that go? I stole the character. I do it now. It's like, well, I suppose you're going to fuck this up like you do everything else. The supportive parent. Well, there's 3 emails in a row all at once. Yeah. Or the New Yorker's another one. Like you're getting on a bus, a guy coughing, you know, and they don't cover their mouth. It's kind of a deal, real rude. The New Yorker's the character. I developed this when I was living with a New Yorker who was particularly rude. Goes like, excuse him.